A very warm good afternoon to all the dear students and welcome back to our class of business startups and innovation. Today we are going to continue with our unit 1 of part 1, that is location of an enterprise. Till now we have seen that what usually a startup is. Startup is something new that has been started by an entrepreneur. Usually they have very high costs initially and very limited revenue. And the people who invest in those startups are known as venture capitalists. Then we saw the various types of startups that exist. Next, we had started at how important a location is for the working or for the starting or for the successful completion of any particular startup. It is very, very important to select the right location at the right time. And then only it will be possible to sell your produce or to sell the products that have been manufactured properly in the market. Then we had seen that what is the need for any enterprise? Location. Whenever you want to set up any new location, if you want to decentralize, diversify, expand, or suppose you have any particular location, but they are not renewing your lease. If suppose you had taken any location, but that is not desirable anymore. If suppose a new branch has to be opened, if suppose raw materials are getting depleted, then in all those cases it is very, very, very important that the enterprise that you are selecting is of good quality and is belonging at a at a premium place. Next, we had seen that what is the importance of enterprise location. In case of importance, it is very much possible that the business will be operating and running very, very smoothly if the location is good. Also, there will be no wastage of efforts, talents, and it will have a great effect on the success or failure of a project. If suppose the location is good, then there are very high chances for the project to be successful. And if the location is not good, then there are very high chances that the project might not be, going in the right direction. Also, there is no wastage of resources, there is no wastage of human resources, and it is very, very easy to sell all the produce that has been manufactured in the factory. Next, we had started with this particular topic, that what are the steps in an enterprise location. So first of all, we have selection of the region, then selection of the community or the locality, then selection of the exact site, and towards the end we have selection of an optimum site. In the last class, we had seen the points which have to be considered, or the factors which have to be considered in case of selection of a region. Whenever you are selecting the overall region, it can be, maybe northern India, or it can be America or Europe, or it can be southern India. Any overall region, if you are selecting, you need to see various aspects of that particular region. It is very important to see whether how easily raw materials are available over there. If that particular factory or if that particular place is near about to the market, if there is proper availability of power and fuel, if the transport facilities available are good, if the climate is suitable for that particular area, and what are the government policies, how is the competition among states, and what are the meteorological conditions and topography, which means how are the conditions of the climate and how are the conditions of the soil. All these aspects are very, very important to be considered whenever you are going about the selection of any particular region. Next, we have selection of community. So please take a minute and go through all the points that are given under selection of community. So in case of selection of community, the very first point that we are required to see is availability of labor. It is very, very important that if you are selecting any particular locality, if suppose, in southern India, you are selecting the locality of Kerala, or you are selecting any particular city. Suppose if you want to set up a plant in western region and you have decided that you will set it up in Surat, then you need to see that how easily labor is available in the city of Surat. Next, we need to see the civic amenities which are available for workers. Civic amenities. Now, can anybody tell me what do you mean by civic amenities? So, civic amenities means the basic facilities which are provided to the workers. For example, basic health clinic or a garden facility or a skating rink or a swimming pool. All these are the basic facilities which are there. So, it is important to see whether, if you are able to provide any civic amenities for the workers. If you will see, we have this Cribco plant in Surat near the Hazira site. Now over there, if you will see, they have an entire Cribco colony where all the family members and all the families of the staff or the employees working in Cribco are living there. And if you will see, if you go inside, you will see that there is an entire city which is situated in that particular area. There is no shortage of any sort of resources. They have cycling area, they have walking area, they have a vegetable shop, they have grocery shop, they have a health clinic. So all the basic amenities which are required for workers are very, very easily available in all these areas. Next, we have existence of complementary and competing industries. Again, it is important to see that, all the industries which are in compliance with the particular product that you are going to manufacture are there in that particular area. For example, suppose, if you are manufacturing shoes and there is also a shoe polish factory nearby, it will be good for you because again, both the industries will be complementing each other. They will be in line with each other. Fourth point, we have finance and research facilities. Now, research is something which is very, very, very important. Usually in India, we have a trend that, not a lot of money is being invested in case of research and not a lot of resources are being allocated to the research work. But it is very, very important to see that, you are able to employ good resources to your research work also. Now, why do you think Apple is more successful than all the other mobile products? It is because they are having extremely strong research and development department. Whenever they are doing any sort of research, it is extremely strong, it is extremely well paid for, and all the people are working in the research department are highly paid. So it is important that whenever you are doing any work, there should be good research facilities available in that area. So those research facilities will help your company grow much more. Now, research facilities are something which are important in each and every industry area. Especially, they are very, very important in the agricultural area also. How? Because they can tell how well the crops can be grown, how well the agricultural produce can be made. So all those things are very, very useful in case of research facilities. Next, we have availability of water and the fighting facilities. So again, very important, whenever you are setting up an industry, you need to see whether how easily water will be available. If suppose you are setting up a plant in Rajasthan and over there, there is high shortage of water, then again, there are very high chances that your project might not be successful. So it is important that you consider that water is easily available and properly available in that area. Next, we have the local taxes and restrictions. Again, very important. Many times, we usually have the state taxes, we usually have the central government taxes, but many times we also have the local taxes. Now, what do you mean by local taxes? Local taxes are the one, which are usually taken up by the SMC, that is the municipal corporation of that particular area. In India, we have, in Surat, we have Surat Municipal Corporation. In Ahmedabad, we have Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation. So all those corporations are the ones also which take some local taxes from the local industry set up in that area. And they might have some restrictions also that you cannot produce this, you cannot employ so many people, you cannot employ people like this or that. So it is very important that whenever you are setting up your industry in any local area, you need to see whether what sort of local environment exists in that particular area. Okay. Again, whenever any company is acquiring also another company, suppose if an American company is acquiring an Indian company, they usually need to see whether how the local environment is. Because even if you are a national level company, if the local people do not like you or if you are not in compliance with the local rules, then it will be a major problem for you in future. Next, we have momentum of an early start. That is very important. If you are starting early, it always gives you an edge over others. Like I have said many times in my lecture that जो लोग जल्दी कोई बिजनेस स्टार्ट करते हैं उनको ऊपर की मलाई मिल जाती है, और जो लोग बाद में उस बिजनेस में जंप करते हैं, they get the buttermilk which is there at the bottom part. So it is very important that are you new in that region? If suppose you are setting up an industry and that is the first industry being set up in that community or in that locality, so that will be something which will play a very, very important role for you, because you will get the momentum of an early start, because you are an early bird over there. So again, it is very important that if possible, you should set up your industry in some area which is not having any industry like that from the earlier point. Next, we have personal factors. Obviously, if some entrepreneur is connected to that area, if his family lives in that area, if an entrepreneur personally likes any particular area, then again, it can be seen that he would like to be a part, or he would like to open his industry in that particular area. Next, we have the banking facility. Again, very important. Now, why do you think the banking facility is so important while deciding to set up an industry? You all must be knowing, you also have a subject of banking. Banks are the pillars of the Indian economy, or of any economy for that matter, because all the transactions are usually happening through the bank. Even if any person is doing a job, he usually gets his salary in the bank. If you're doing any business, you get the money through the bank. So whatever work you are doing, if you want to obtain any loan, you go to the bank. If you want to deposit your money, you go to the bank. So if you will see, our life cannot exist without a bank. It is impossible. So again, if you need to select the proper locality, you need to see, whether how many ATMs does that locality have, what sort of banking facility they are having, are the number of branches adequate to manage the accounts of all the employees and to take care of the banking needs of the enterprise. So all those things have to be very well seen in that particular area. Next, we have the communication facility. In case of communication facility, it is important to see, whether there is proper connectivity. If suppose you want to communicate with other parts of the world or other parts of the country, it should be easily available, and not only easily available, it should not be, available at a very expensive price. It should be cheap, and it should be, easily available to all the people in that particular area. Usually, if you will see, whenever any enterprises are set up, there is usually a desk system that, every employee is given his own desk, and usually one telephone per person is given in offices. So it is very important that, if you are providing one telephone per person, then the communication facilities should be extremely strong, and they should be easily able to communicate to the other people. Else there will be a huge loss of business for that particular enterprise. Next, we have cultural affinity. Now, what do you mean by cultural affinity? That, whatever business you are doing, it should be culturally compliant with that local area. Usually, there are some things, which might be acceptable in India, but might not be acceptable in the foreign country, or vice versa. So, for example, that, if you are working in America, usually the culture is that you refer every one by their first name or their last name. But in India, we do not have that culture. In India, we have the culture of referring other people by, sir or madam. So it is very, very important to see that whenever you are setting up any new enterprise, it should be culturally in line with the culture of that particular locality and of that particular community. You cannot go out of the way and run your enterprise in that particular area. Next, we have religious and social institutions. Obviously, it is important that if you are going to set up your enterprise, you should see to it that proper religious and social institutions are set up in that area. Religious institutions means, temples or maybe mosques or churches, and any social institution, any banquet hall, any community hall, any drama hall. So all these places are very, very important to be seen, because then and then only the employees will be happy living in that particular area. Next, we have educational environment. Again, very important. The culture of education should be strong and good in whatever locality you are choosing, because it is important that all the employees, who are working there, their children should have good educational facilities. And not only that, if there are good educational institutes, the people coming out or graduating from those institutes can easily, or they would easily want to take up a job in your company. So at the same time, in that way also, it is very, very important and useful. Next, we have historical factors. Again, historically, if that place is, very, very useful or very, very in line with your business culture, then again, that factor can be considered. And towards the last, we have the political stability. Again, very important that, whenever you are running your own enterprise, you need to see that it is in line with the political environment of that particular area. Now, what do you mean by political environment? You should see that, politically the government or the party which is currently in power is in favor of that particular enterprise, and they are not against it in any way, because then it will be very easy to run your business if politically it is well set up in that particular area. Now we are going to start with the part C, that is selection of site. Now, in case of selection of site, you need to see the following aspects. First of all, we need to see, about the soil, size, and topography, which means you need to see whether what sort of, soil that particular land is having, what is the size of that particular land, and how is the topography, means what are the conditions of the land in that particular area. Now, what do you mean by selection of site? Selection of site means the exact area where you are going to set up or open your enterprise. So obviously, if suppose in Surat you are going to open up your enterprise, say suppose in these Manbhari farms in Vesu. So again, you need to be very, very clear as to what sort of soil those Manbhari farms is having, what is the size and what is the condition of the land. Based on that, you will, you can decide whether how you are going to set up your enterprise. Next, we have disposal waste. It is very, very important to be considered. Disposal waste means whether, do you have or does that area have proper disposal waste facilities. For example, many times, your industry is producing a lot of waste, so you need to dispose it. So will it be possible for you to dispose it in a proper way, in an environment friendly way, so that it is not causing any harm to the local people also who are living there? So whatever waste you're producing, it should be disposed of in such a way so that it is not causing any harm to the local people and to the environment living over, residing over there. Next, we have price of land. Again, very important that whenever you are acquiring the exact piece of land, you should be aware about how cost effective it is going to be for you. If suppose that piece of land is very, very costly, then again, if suppose it is out of your budget, then again, you should be able to check whether whatever revenues you will generate from that particular enterprise, will they be enough for the price of the land, or will they not be able to cover the price of the land? Because no matter how good a piece of land is, if it is out of your budget, if it is something which will not be covered up by the revenue stream in future, then definitely it is a very bad decision that you will be taking, because it is very important to see whether, how costly a piece of land is going to be for you. Next, we have expansion potential. You need to see, whether you will be easily able to expand. If suppose you, for example, you have obtained 10 acres of land in any particular area. So you need to see whether, suppose in future, if you want to increase your business, if you want to increase the number of machines operating on those 10 acres of land. So is there area, is there enough area surrounding that particular 10 acres of land that if you want, you will be able to acquire another 5 or 10 acres of land, and so that, you can expand your business. So it is very important to see whether there is potential, whether there is more scope around that area to expand and to increase your business. Next, we have commercial services. So fifth point, we need to see, how easily all the commercial services are available or Not. Now, what do you mean by commercial services? It means a banking facility or any sort of, transportation facilities or any availability of shops and shopping malls and cinema halls. So all those activities are available in that particular area or not. Next, we need to see the communication aspect. Again, it is very, very important that are there adequate communication facilities available in that area or not? And they also should not be very, very expensive. So there should be proper telecom towers which are set up in each area so that it is very easy to communicate with each other. Next, we have availability of amenities. Again, very important, the basic civic amenities should be available. Means there should be proper garden or maybe skating rink or recreation activities or gym facility or Zumba classes or yoga classes. So all those facilities are usually given. For example, if you will see, we have the L&T colony also. So in that they provide yoga classes, they have crèche facility, they have canteen facilities. So all those basic amenities should be given to the employees. Next, we have health of locality. Again, very important. Wherever you are going to set up your enterprise, you need to see that it should be properly built up. It should be sanitized properly, and the health, which means, the proper neatness should be maintained in that locality. Next, we have statutory considerations. Statutory consideration means it should be in compliance with all the rules and regulations and with all the laws. It should not be flouting, it should not be disregarding any particular law or any particular statute. Next, we have flood and drought experience. Again, very important. If suppose you are setting up any plant in Cherrapunji, which is, receiving the highest rainfall in India. So it can create a flood-like situation, which will be very, very difficult for you to handle. And next we have that there should be not any drought experience. So suppose if you are setting up any new agricultural farm, and over there in Rajasthan, suppose, there is very shortage of water, which causes drought-like experience. So that can create a huge risk for you in the future. Again, for floods, maybe the government is taking up a lot of steps. So what do they do? Whenever in any area, if there are frequent floods, you all must be knowing that to control floods, the government usually sets up dams in some particular area. So because of those dams, they are able to store the water for future use also, and they are able to avoid the flood-like situation also in the city area. So it is very, very important that you need to consider the flood and the drought experience in any particular area. Then next you need to see the right and title of the land. That, whenever suppose you have purchased any land, you need to see that you have the papers of that land. It is very, very important. Many times you would have seen there is a very famous and a very, very comedy movie based on right and title of the land, which is known as Khosle Ka Ghosla, okay, starring Anupam Kher, and it's a very good movie, a must watch. And you will see in that Anupam Kher, he utilizes his entire life savings and purchases a plot to build his own bungalow. But what happens, he is not having good command over checking the rights and titles of the papers, and that is why he's conned. And what happens, there is some person who is a gunda, and he takes over that particular land, and he refuses to give it back to Anupam Kher. Then what happens, it creates a very comic like situation, that how Anupam Kher fights and struggles to obtain his piece of land back. So again, it is very, very important to see that, whenever you want to obtain any right and title of the land, you should have good command over understanding the papers, and even better than that, you should get those papers checked by a proper and authentic lawyer who can certify that yes, those papers are extremely correct. So that in case in future, if anybody comes and claims their right over your piece of land, then in that particular case, you can fight your case and say, no, this is my piece of land and I have the adequate papers. And in that case, you can even go to the court of law and get justice. But if you're not having the right papers at all, there is no proof that you purchased that land or you paid money for that land. So it is very, very important to have the proper and the correct papers which will entitle you to the title of that particular piece of land. Then next point, we have good scenery. Okay, so it is very, very important to see that, you have good scenery. Usually it happens that if you are, setting up any new enterprise, if the location is good, it creates a very, very good impression. And even the employees enjoy working over there and living over there. So this is not a very basic requirement, but if it is there, it creates a good impact. So if the scenery is good, it will definitely be a plus point for the people also who are coming to work there, as well as for the organization also. Next is attitude of local people. Very important to be seen. If the attitude of the local people is supportive, then it will create a huge help for you, because you can obtain your human resources also out of those local people, and you can obtain a lot of help out of those local people. But if the attitude of the local people is not good, then it can create a huge difficulty, because they might pose many challenges for you in the future. They might not be supportive, they might not be adjustable, they might not like working with you or for you. So in that particular case, it might create a huge problem. Next, we have good technological know-how. Again, whenever you are setting up your enterprise at a particular location, you should be aware as to how technology can be operated in that area. Nowadays, if you will see, more and more industries are becoming dependent on the latest technology. If you're not having the latest technology, it will create a huge hurdle for you in the future. So adequate technology should be available in any particular area. And if adequate technology is available, that will be a huge plus point. And also it should be seen that people living over there, maybe if there are some IT colleges or engineering colleges from which people or students are graduating, so the company can hire those people in that particular enterprise, which will create a huge help for the particular enterprise. And towards the end, we have state assistance. Again, very important, that how supportive the local government is of that particular idea and is of that particular enterprise. State assistance, again, it can be in the form of various subsidies also, various favors also. Many times it so happens that, if you are setting up your enterprise in any rural area or in any local area, usually many times the state provides you with subsidized land also. For example, a land worth rupees 2 crores, the government can give it to you for 20 lakhs rupees, because even the government is going to gain a lot of benefit because of you setting up your enterprise in that area. And many times it so happens that, the government might not charge you for electricity, which can be a huge cost cutting help for you, or the government might provide you electricity at subsidized rates. So all these are the different ways in which the government can help you in setting up your enterprise. And towards the end, point D, we have selection of the optimum site, which is again very easy, that once you have 4 or 5 options of different locations, you can finally zero down on any one particular location based on any economic, quantitative, and qualitative survey of all the different options. And on what factors can you judge them? So all the factors we have discussed right now, point number A, B, and C. Whatever factors are given in these particular points, we can go through those points, and finally we can come up and select one particular final area which will be considered to be the optimum selection of site. Okay, so dear students, this is it for today. We will continue with the next part from the next class, and thank you.